Hello students, today in our paper Organization Behavior with paper code BBA P3305 we are going to do dimensions of organization and effect of technology on organization structure. I am Ragini Dixit, working as assistant professor in School of Management, BBD University. Now, first look at the contents of this presentation. First is we will study about the dimensions of organizations. What are the various dimensions? These are structural dimensions and contextual dimensions. We will go into the details of these dimensions. Then effect of technology on organizational structure. How this technology affects an organization structure. What is the relation between technology and organization structure? So, starting with dimensions of organizations. There are two different types of dimensions in organizational design or structure, that is structural dimensions and contextual dimensions. Now, structural dimensions, what are structural dimensions? Structural dimensions describe the internal characteristics of an organization. These dimensions or these key points describe the internal characteristics of an organization. And what are the contextual dimensions? Focus on everything that shapes the structure of the organization. So, structural dimensions are internal characteristics of an organization, while contextual dimensions are those dimensions that shapes the structure of the organization. Now, these are the various contextual and structural dimensions and how they interact with each other. We can conclude from this figure, that is, the structural dimensions are your formalization, specialization, hierarchy of authority, then centralization, professionalism, personal ratios. Then your contextual dimensions can be culture, environment, goals and strategy, size, technology. These are your contextual dimensions. Now, both types of dimensions have a number of factors that impact the structure of organizations. These dimensions affect the structure of organizations, and these dimensions have number of factors. What are these factors? Structural dimensions consider of specialization. What is specialization? Specialization focuses on grouping. Organization often split into departments, and this is done through specializations. Means different departments with different specialized people are formed. That is, specialization encourages efficiency because it may require less training to become an efficient worker, thus encouraging an increase in productivity. So, according to the specialization, departmentalization can be done. Then second structural dimension is your formalization. Formalization is about the number of rules, policies and procedures that a business follows. Means how formalized that organization is, how rules, policies and procedures are formulated in that particular organizations and followed. Formalization is more commonly found in highly regulated working environments such as hospitals and nuclear power stations, where health and safety is at a high risk, while formalization ensures that the organization is following legal standards and safety regulations. It can mean that the organization is restricted to change. Then the third factor is hierarchy of authority. Under structural dimensions, the third factor is hierarchy of authority. It can be described as a number of management levels in an organization. It can also be described as a span of control, means number of employees which are under the control of one manager or supervisors. When the manager controls a large number of employees, the hierarchy tends to be shorter. When the manager controls a small number of employees, the hierarchy tends to be tall. Now, your fourth factor is centralization. It refers to hierarchical level that has the authority to make a decision. When process of decision making is on the top level, organization is centralized. Means all the decisions will be from the center. that is from the head office. When process of decision making is possible and it is happening on lower levels of hierarchy, means manager is capable of taking decisions, means there is possibility of that is decisions are happening at lower levels, then the centralization is weak or the organization is decentralized, means decision making is done by the lower level of employees also. It is not that only top management is involved in taking the decisions. Now, professionalism. It can be described as a level of education and additional training and education. It is measured by number of years of employees' education. Now, your second dimension is contextual dimensions, and the various factors under contextual dimensions are organizational goals and strategy. Your first factor is organizational goals and strategies. What are these? These are factors which define the purpose of organizational existence, why that particular organization exists, and it is going to shape the structure of that organization. Strategy is defined as a plan of action for reaching the organization goals or objective. Then organization type. Which type of organization is that? The type of an organization may affect the way that the organization is structured. Means for linear organization, functional organization, etc. These are the examples of various organizational types. What type of organization is that? Now, the structure of an organization. Third factor is your size. The structure of an organization can be highly dependent on the size of the organization itself. Smaller companies such as single retail store or a restaurant tend to hold a rather simple structure. Larger organization tends to acquire a more formal structure where tasks are highly specialized and details, rules and leadership influence work procedures. Now, as a result, the basic dimensions of larger organizations are generally formalized, specialized, standardized and complex. So, smaller companies have simple structure, their size is small, and larger companies or large size of organization have complex structures. Now, third contextual dimension is your technology. Technology can play, we will do this technology, effect of technology on organization, on structure in detail further in this presentation. Now, technology can play an important role in the structure of an organization in addition to determining how work flows through a business. With the introduction of computer networking, businesses encourage their employees to work as group. As a result, employees are not restricted to work in the same room or even in the same building. Technology is also impacting businesses in a way that can eliminate unnecessary jobs such as file clerks, saving valuable time and money to businesses. So, how much technology is advanced in that particular organization or how much technology it has adapted, it will also influence the structure of the organization. At the same time, this also means that there is a need for IT technicians as a department to maintain and grow the computer network. As technology proceeds to take over many jobs in the workplace, the form of organizational structure also changes within it. Now, your next factor is environment. What is environment? The business environment may have an impact on company's organizational structure. Environment can be described as either stable or dynamic. Stable environment. In a stable environment, there are minimal or subtle changes. The business is able to predict the organizational performance and may feel confident with the consumer's wants and needs because they are likely to remain consistent for a long period of time. That is, environment is stable. Why? Because in that environment, in that company's environment, consumers' wants and needs are likely to remain consistent for a long period of time. So, that company has a stable environment. An example of an organization that may be in a stable environment is manufacturer of cleaning products. Now, dynamic environment. In a dynamic environment, the organization performance tends to be less predictable. Customer desires are continuously changing, resulting in great difficulty for businesses to keep up with such high demands. It is important for businesses in dynamic environment to keep technology up to date in order to maintain some control. Now, an example of such industry is electronic industry. With technology continuously developing, the competition for electronic industries continues to build competitive pressures along with the changing desires of customers. Now, generally organizations operating in a stable environment tend to use a more automated structure. Then this approach ensures efficiency to cope with the minimal changes that will benefit the long-term performances. In contrast, organization operating in dynamic environment are more likely to use a more integrated structure because it allows the organization to respond to change much more productively. Now, coming to the next factor, that is culture. Business culture is a key element in business relating to behavior, ethics, etiquettes, communications, social media, and more. It can have a strong impact on the organizational structure and strategic direction of a business. So, the culture defines the behavior, ethics, etiquette and communication between the employees of an organization, and it can have impact on the organizational structure as well. Culture plays a significant role in management decisions and choices along with business functions. Businesses using a hierarchical structure will reflect a culture where freedom is discouraged. On the other hand, if a company's organizational structure is decentralized, the culture is likely to be more independent and personalized as a result of the shared powers and authority. Now, next topic is your effect of technology on organizational structure. What is the effect of what is technology? What are the various researches done on effect of technology on organizational structure? We will do all this in our presentation. Now, the term technology refers to how an organization transfer its inputs into outputs by using various technology. Every organization has at least one technology for converting its financial, human and physical resources into product or services. Numerous studies have been carried out on the technology structure relationship. So, what is technology? Technology refers to how an organization transfers its inputs into outputs, as well as every organization has at least one technology for converting financial, human and physical resources into product or services. Various resources are utilized to produce product or services. And for this, the effect of technology on organizational structure, various studies have been done. Now, another definition of technology is technology refers to the information, equipment, techniques and processes required to transform input into outputs in an organization. Technology refers to the information, what equipment, what techniques and processes are required. What technology is required to transform input into output in an organization. Technology looks at how the inputs are converted to outputs by using various equipment, techniques and processes. Now, these are the various researches done by the various scientists about the relationship between technology and organizational structures. These are John Woodward, Charles Perrow, James Thomson and J. Galbraith. We will include their researches in our presentation. And in bracket I have given manufacturing companies, knowledge-based technology, technological uncertainty, task uncertainty. These are the terms on which their researches were based. Now, first coming to John Woodward. John Woodward research, which focuses on production technology, was the first major attempt to view organization structure from a technological perspective. However, her research applies only to manufacturing industries. She computed various measures of structure, the number of hierarchical levels, and the extent of formalization among others. She classified the companies as above average or below average in terms of success or organizational effectiveness based on the financial data. The relationship between structure and effectiveness became apparent when she grouped companies according to their typical mode of production technology. She proposed three types of production technology. First is unit production, defined as technology where units are custom made and work is non-routine. Now, here the products are produced in units and these are customized according to the customers in unit production, and it is non-routine work. When the order comes, the product is or the unit is manufactured. Then second type was mass production, which is large, means product is produced in large batches or mass produced technology is used. And third type is your process production, defined as highly controlled, standardized and continuous processing technology. Here it is highly controlled and standard products are produced, and with continuously produced means continuously processing technology is used. So three types of production technology were used by the manufacturing companies according to Joan Woodward. First was your unit production, second is your mass production, and third is your process production. She treated those categories as a scale with increasing degree of technological complexity, unit being the least complex and process the most complex. Means she finalized these three categories based on the technological complexity. Means in unit production less technology is applied, and in process production most complex technology is applied. Now, Woodward concluded that for each category on the technology scale, that is unit, mass and process production, and for each structural component, there was an optimal range that encompassed the position of the more effective firms. The mass production technology firms were highly differentiated, relied on extensive formalization, did relatively little to delegate authority. Now, both the unit and process technology, in contrast, were structured more loosely. Flexibility was achieved through less vertical differentiation, less division of labor and more group activities. Means unit and process technology using organizational structure were organizational structure believed in group activities and less division of labor. Now, and in unit and process technology using organization, decentralized decision making was used. Woodward's investigation demonstrated a link between technology, structure and effectiveness. Firms that most nearly approximated the typical structure for their technology were the most effective. Now, second scientist who gave his contribution for the effect of technology on organizational structure was Charles Sparrow. Charles Sparrow defined technology as the action that an individual performs upon an object, with or without the aid of tools or mechanical devices, in order to make some change in that object. Means some change is required, some action is done on a particular object to change that object, and it can be done with the aid of tools or without any mechanical devices. Now, the two underlying dimensions of knowledge technology are task variability, which considers the number of exceptions encountered in one's work. These exceptions will be few in number if the job is high in predictability. At the end of its spectrum, if a job has a great deal of variety, means every time a particular employee is producing a new product or giving a new service, so there will be large number of exceptions. Now, second dimension was problem analyzability, which assesses the type of search procedures followed to find successful methods for responding adequately to task exceptions. The search may at one extreme be described as well-defined, the other extreme is ill-defined problems. Now, these two dimensions can be used to construct a 2 by 2 matrix. Perot argued that control and coordination methods should vary with technology type. The 4 cells in this matrix represents 4 type of technology. Perot has given 4 type of technologies. First is your routine technology, then is your engineering technology, craft technology, non-routine technologies. Now, first coming to your routine technologies. Routine technologies are those technologies which have few exceptions and easy to analyze problems. For example, mass production means there are less varieties. Now, are those technologies which have few exceptions or less variability and easy to analyze problem. Most routine technology can be accomplished best through for these routine technology, which type of organizational structure is best fitted? Standardized and organization with standardized coordination and control, high formalization and high centralization. This is because the production process is repetitive and easily understood, and the exceptions may be anticipated and planned for. Means regular decisions are not required. Once the decision is taken, it can be implemented, as the production process is repetitive and easily understood, and the exceptions may be anticipated and planned for. Now, second type of technology is your engineering technology. These are those technologies which have a large number of exceptions, but they can be handled in a rational and systematic manner. For example, work of accountants. Engineering technology, because it has many exceptions, but these exceptions can be analyzed. Search processes should have decisions centralized, but should maintain flexibility through low formalization. Means decisions can be centralized, but there should also be flexibility through low formalization. Now, craft technologies. These are those technologies which deal with relatively difficult problems, but with a limited set of exceptions. For example, craft technology requires that problem solving be done by those with the greatest knowledge and experience, which essentially means high degree of decentralizations. Means decisions can be taken at the lower level of management. This type of organizational structure should be used for this craft technologies. Now, non-routine technologies are those technologies which have many exceptions and difficult to analyze problem. Most complex type of technologies. Non-routine technologies demand flexibility, and they usually are decentralized, have high interaction among all members, and have a minimum degree of formalization. Thus, the more routine the technology, the more highly structured the organization should be. Conversely, or opposite to this is, non-routine technologies require greater structural flexibility. So, routine technology require highly structured organization, and non-routine technologies require greater structural flexible structural organization. Now, third scientist who contributed to this effect of technology on organization is James Thomson. James Thomson demonstrated that technology determines the selection of a strategy for reducing uncertainty. Our technological uncertainty was his main focus for reducing uncertainty, and that specific structural arrangement can facilitate uncertainty reduction. Thomson proposed 3 types of technology, each creating a type of interdependence. First is your long link technology, mediating technology, and intensive technology. Now, coming to your long link technology. It was associated with tasks or operations which are sequentially interdependent. Means first, if we are performing in sequence, first we have to perform task A, then we will go to task B, then we will go to task C. That's why they are known as long-linked technology. It includes mass production assembly line. Now, long-linked technology is accompanied by sequential interdependence. The procedures that are highly standardized must be performed in a specific serial order. Now, second is your mediating technology. It can be defined as a technology that links clients on both the input and output side of the organization. Banks and post offices are example. Mediator performs an interchange functions, linking units that are otherwise independent. Banks, for instance, bring together those who want to save with those who want to borrow. So it is using a kind of mediating technology, means clients on both the input and output side of the organization. Mediating technology has pooled interdependence. Two or more units each contribute separately to a larger unit. Now, third technology is intensive technology. Represents a specialized response to a diverse set of problem. The exact response depends on the nature of the problem, which cannot be predicted accurately. This includes technologies dominant in hospital, universities. Intensive technologies create a reciprocal interdependence. The output of unit influence each other in a reciprocal fashion. This intensive technology represents a specialized response to a diverse set of problems. The exact response depends on the nature of the problem. Means nature of the problem will define how we are going to give solution to that problem. Now, each of the above mentioned interdependencies need a certain type of coordination that will facilitate organizational effectiveness and keep costs low. The following structural solutions should be applied. For example, mediating technology should have a structure with low complex and high complexity and high formalization. Long link technology shall have moderate complexity and formalization. Then intensive technology have high complexity and low formalization. Now, last and the fourth contribution was given by J. Galbraith, and it was based on task uncertainty. Now, he focused on service industries. Now, J. Galbraith defined uncertainty as the difference between the amount of information required to perform a task and the amount of information already processed by the organization. He considered that a task uncertainty increased, so did the amount of information that had to be processed among decision makers in order to achieve the desired level of organizational performance. The amount of information and how this information was processed become the major determinant of the structure of the organization. Means the structure of the organization will be determined by the amount of information and how that information is being processed in a particular organization. Galbraith has identified different organization design strategies to accommodate different levels of uncertainty and information processing. In a straightforward routine task, rules and programs that reflect the existing knowledge of the organization may be used. Any exception encountered is referred to a manager further up the hierarchy. Another method used to deal with uncertainty is the use of goals or targets. Now, Galbraith argued that the key determinant of organizational structure was the amount of information that had to be processed in order to turn input into output. He did not suggest a specific level of information processing that would lead to a specific structural outcome. Interpretation was left to the observer or the manager in the Galbraith determinant of organizational structure. It is important to recognize that there are differences between manufacturing and service technology. Now, characteristics of a typical service company include simultaneous production and consumption, the fact that the customer is a part of the production process and the output is customized to the consumer needs. The output of the service industries is often intangible, that is, it cannot be inventoried or stored. Many services are labor intensive. Research shows that characteristics of the service industries have an impact on their structure. For instance, because of the need for customer interaction in service industries, decision making in relation to how the task is carried out tends to be more decentralized than in manufacturing. So in service industries, the decision making has to be decentralized than in manufacturing. On the contrary, not all of employees of manufacturing companies interact with their customers directly. Now, manufacturing companies have what are termed boundary spanners, whose main task is to interact with customers. The boundary spanners have the effect of protecting the operating core from intrusion by customers. Or you can say these have the effect of protecting the operating core from the intrusion by customer. These are your salesperson. They're allowing work to proceed without interruption. Now, the following may be concluded about the impact of technology on the structure. Now, in the previous slide, what we have concluded is that is the any organization which is involved in service industries, there the structure should be decentralized as compared to any manufacturing organization. Now, coming to the conclusion about the impact of technology on the structure, routine technology is positively associated with low complexity. The greater the routineness, the fewer the number of occupational groups, and the less training possessed by professionals. Non-routine technology is likely to lead high complexity. As the work becomes more sophisticated and customized, the span of control narrows and vertical differentiation increases. Teamwork and intensive communication and coordination become more common. Routine technology is positively related to formalization, means routineness was significantly associated with the presence of rules, manuals and job description and the degree to which job descriptions were specified. Non-routine technologies require control systems that permit greater discretion and flexibility. Routine technologies can be associated with a centralized structure. The non-routine technology would be characterized by delegated decision authority or a decentralized structure. So, any organization in which routine technology is performed, it can go for centralized structure, and in non-routine technology performing organization, they can go for decentralized structure. Thus, the technology centralization relationship is moderated by the degree of formalization. Routine technology should be associated with centralized control if there is minimum of rules and regulation. However, if formalization is high, routine technology can be accompanied by decentralization. We would therefore predict routine technology to lead to centralization, but only if formalization is low. Thus, routine technology can be associated with centralized structure, and non-routine technology would be characterized by delegated decision authority. So, this was all about your effect of technology on organizational structure as well as various dimensions, various structural and contextual dimensions of organizational structure. Now, thank you class. Hope you have got whatever was there in impact of technology on organizational structure and the structural and your contextual dimensions of organizational structure.